DCTV 274 production, a channel meant to spread evangelical mission, reflections, church news, interviews on church matters, socio-political issues, and other marriage matters, both young and nice content, all kinds of invitation cards, even movies. DCTV 274 production.
Hi, this is my channel. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. DCTV, the channel for everyone.
Nigerians are continuing to bemoan, in fact, daily, the precarious economic situation and the conditions they find themselves in. Actually, I come out in recent time to say that the radical economic reforms might plunge the majority of Nigerians into hardship, but it was necessary for the economic prosperity that will follow. I know you do not react to comments and statements, but in your opinion, do you think President Bola Tinubu can find a solution before it's too late?
You know, I think one of the biggest problems we have as a collective is a chronic inability to connect cause and effect. I remember sitting in this same chair. You were right there as well. Just a little over a year ago, and we were talking, and I was specific in saying that Nigeria had been damaged beyond repair by Buhari, and that anyone who is going to rescue Nigeria would have to reimagine it and then rebuild it from the ruins of the Buhari regime. That was what I said, sat in this seat. And I did say in addendum at the time that Bola Ahmed Tinubu is incapable of envisioning a future for Nigeria because he's part and parcel, integral part and parcel of the horrible past of this country. Nobody alive is more responsible for the emergence of the Buhari regime than Bola Ahmed Tinubu. He's on record as having honed it himself. So when I hear the man talking as though there is a disconnect between his, I don't even know, because this is not even a man we elected, between himself and the despicable man named Buhari that has left the office. When I hear that disconnect, it baffles me that there can be such inability or maybe wanton wickedness. Because if he says he has inherited a bad situation, the question is from who? It's the same people, the same character. It's the same man. He was there for 8 years. During the Buhari administration, he had nothing to say against Buhari. And when he was coming, he made clear that he was going to continue the policies of the Buhari administration. So when the man is now pontificating and talking about difficult economic decisions and that is a difficult thing to react to, it's like asking me to react to madness. I know as a fact, and I sat here over a year ago to tell you what to expect. I told you at the time that he is one of the two horsemen of the apocalypse. And today, you have a disaster succeeding a calamity. Because that's the best way to describe this succession of madness. So anybody who is expecting that there will be a course correction because Bola Ahmed Tinubu is the one sat in the office and not Buhari, the person is wasting his time. Asking me to react to it, I'm sure you already knew what I was going to say anyway, because as far as I'm concerned, it's like asking the difference between 6 and half a dozen. It's the same family. The same crime family that had been in office in Nigeria is still the same crime family that is in power. So let's not waste our time reacting to what are obvious lies. Bola Tinubu cannot do better than he's doing. He would actually do much worse than Buhari by the end of the day. Anyone who manages to survive however long his reign might be, the person should thank their stars.
How clueless is this president as far as you know?
What do you mean clueless? Let's be clear. When we excuse the madness we see on account of the cluelessness or inability of those who rule Nigeria, we're actually making strategic errors. They know exactly what they are doing at every point in time. The man is on record. He said, reduce their purchasing power, widen the tax net. All those things the man was saying, and everybody was busy catching cruise and laughing at the time. That's exactly what he is doing. The IMF and the World Bank, the Western powers, have always wanted the naira to be floated. But no president of Nigeria had ever found the balls to do it, because they all knew it was going to have ruinous effect on the socioeconomic indices of Nigeria. So they balked at doing it. But now you have a man in power who is not, he doesn't care one bit. He knows that he owns the press effectively. The press will see the truth and not confront him with it. We would all pretend that it is because of his cluelessness or inability. They are geniuses at the task of ruining the people. This is not by accident. It's not by accident that we don't have electricity in Nigeria. It's deliberate. It's not by accident that we are probably the poorest paid in the whole of Africa. It's not by accident. It's not by accident that the state is mollycoddling terrorism and pretending not to know the fact that one of the greatest contributors to food inflation in Nigeria is insecurity. And yet the same government ignores the impunity with which the Fulani marauders are entering villages and farms and making it impossible for people to stay in their farms and produce. It is not impossible that this is not beyond their human capacity to know that without energy, the manufacturing sector, the real sectors cannot work. It's not, look, in the last couple of weeks, the most I have had public power, maybe 4 hours a day. And in my case, a lot of people have told me that that is actually pretty high. Some people haven't had light for days. So if you are a carpenter, if you are a tailor, a barber, whatever you're doing at some productive level, you're already hampered. Or you're going to go buy petrol to power the generator at over 600 naira per liter. The fact of the matter is that the ruination of the Nigerian people is not due to the imbecility of the ruiners. It is actually deliberate policies designed to make sure that the people are preoccupied with existential considerations and never able to question them, even as they destroy the country.
So, consider the fact that you just said that this is quite a deliberate action.
It is.
How do you, and in one of the recent tweets, you had actually said that if you thought it couldn't get any worse than this crooked disaster, Tinubu has come, the horseman of the apocalypse. And at some point in time, you actually stated that this is like incompetency meeting complicity. How do we juxtapose that, sir?
Gomez, I think it was Lord Baelish, Lord Baelish in Game of Thrones. He said something that I found very instructive. He said, when you are confronted with a situation that does not appear to make sense, instead of trying to make sense of what does not make sense, just accept that it doesn't make sense and then step back and take another look. A man that came to the public TV and was telling everybody how we have to make hard decisions and sacrifices, he has presided over a government that is second to none in less than 9 months in looting the Commonwealth. This same man has presided over the purchase of SUVs for members of the National Assembly. They've continued to live large as though nothing is wrong in the country. This same government gave 24 billion for Hajj subsidy in a country where people are dying like flies from hunger. This government has presided over the murder of numerous Nigerians in places like Bokos, in the Plateau, in the Benue Trough. Ekiti, Ondo have become killing fields where obas are slaughtered like flies. And look, let's be clear. Nigerians need to come to the knowledge of the fact that their government is peopled by those who have determined that the people themselves are enemies and must be eliminated. So it is the mindset that we need to shift pretty quickly. Looking to this government or the ruiners of Nigeria for the solution to the problems of Nigeria is a waste of time. As long as these same people remain in power, the Nigerian is an endangered species.
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe to my channel.
DCTV 274 production, a channel meant to spread evangelical mission, reflections, church news, interviews on church matters, socio-political issues, and other marriage matters, both young and nice content, all kinds of invitation cards, even movies. DCTV 274 production.